Hello everybody and welcome to the Creative Corner, an opportunity for you to get inside the head and the heart of the author and find out what it was that drove them to bring their book to life. And joining me as usual, for the last time, mind you, which we're going to talk about in a minute, The Flash.
I wasn't sure if you were going to bring it up or not. But
Absolutely.
Yes. And I also wasn't sure where you were going to take the spiel just then when you said the interview where you find out what drove the author to.
Oh, right, okay. Well, before we get into this wonderful interview, I just want to take a couple of minutes here. I did ask Flash, and this particular author was speaking to her. It's a bit connected. You got to love the universe, because when we started working together with this author, this was right back in the very beginning when you and I started working together. And now, because we have these two businesses, your focus is going into the print stage and out of publishing. And this is officially your final interview. And I did ask Flash to sit in this chair, but I kind of landed on him and he said, hell no, because we'll be here all day. But I did want you to have the last interview. But I want to say first, thank you for sitting in these chairs with me for the years that we have talking to these wonderful authors. It's been epic.
It has. It's been, you know, I do really enjoy the interview process. Hearing from the authors about the books and about their journey and where they got to that point of bringing a book to life, and then the process of bringing the book to life, you know, what they want to do after it. It's all just so intriguing and I really do love it. So thank you. And thanks to our guest for being the lucky last one for me.
Who is Jen Compton, the author of Life's a Mango. How you doing, Jen?
I'm going very well, thank you.
So you are part of a very auspicious interview today, and
That's right.
Also the journey you've had in having the second edition of Life's a Mango come to life has been a long journey. But before we get into that, how about you tell us a bit about Jen Compton? Who is Jen?
Gee, that's a tricky one. There's so many roles I play.
Okay.
I am a mother of 2 sons. I'm a wife. I'm a primary school teacher. I'm a Buddhist practitioner. I'm a marriage celebrant and a funeral celebrant. And I'm just someone, I think, who tries to love life and enjoy life.
You're definitely all of those things, especially the last one, but you are also an author.
I know, I was like, when does that one get?
Oh yeah, and I just wrote a book. Yeah.
Oh gosh, and a poet. So out of all those things, you know, you're obviously a very, very busy human who does love life. Out of all of those things, where did the poetry come from first and foremost?
I reckon it came from my mum, because my mum loved reading to my brother and I when we were little.
Yep.
And she'd read poems from A.A. Milne, and she'd read Dr. Seuss poetry. And I just think those things, when we're children, our parents plant those seeds in our minds. And the other day I found a poetry book that I'd made for young children when I was in year 7, which was high school down in Sydney. And I'd made up these poems.
So this isn't even your first book?
No, that's right. It's not even the first one. So, but it's funny. Yeah, I had to get sick. I had to have a break for this that was obviously sitting there for a long time to sort of come out.
Yep.
And I think I do have quite strong opinions about things, and probably the only way I could get people to listen was to put it into rhyming verse. I'm not sure people would have listened to my thoughts had I not put it into rhyme.
Well, those people who are now listening to your thoughts, and as I said, second edition, you've already sold out of your first print run that you've done. Who are these people? Who is the book aimed at? Who's the target market?
Well, most of the people who bought it are, psychologists, counsellors, ministers. I've had nurses, mainly women, although some men, fellow poets, and just people, I don't know, and other people it just seems to speak to them, and they just, once they hear me reciting the poem, or the poetry, then they kind of get what I'm doing. It's sort of like, it's always a bit of an elephant in the room until I just start reciting it. And then when they can sort of drop from their head down to their heart, which, you know, the Sioux Indians said it would take a lifetime to do that. I think then they get me and they get what I'm trying to communicate to people.
And so, with that communication, you know, reaching those audiences, which are quite interesting to know that they're professionals. What's the feedback that you've had?
Well, you can see it in the endorsements. Why don't you just open the endorsements and read one of them? Because they're all there.
I find Life's a Mango a clever and gentle nudge into thoughtfulness through persuasive rhyme. Jen is a veritable Dr. Seuss. I love that when I read Jen's poems, they feel like they were written for me, they speak to my soul and make me truly think about my life. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, really happy. Really happy that I just didn't write all these poems for me, that other people can enjoy them as well.
Do you remember the first time that you recited live on stage?
Yes, down the Gold Coast. Yeah, I do. I remember that
this?
day really well. I remember what I was wearing and everything.
That was the same day that you and I had the conversation about working together.
Wow.
Funny how the universe spins its wheels, isn't it?
Auspicious day. Another auspicious day, yeah.
I believe the first time I saw you recite poetry live, I knew there was an edge to the way that you delivered it. And I always said to you that it was more of an inspirational empowerment prose than just, you know, when people say it's poetry, it's poetry. I always thought it was a bit more. And then as time's gone on and like at various events that we've done through ORP and also recently with you and with Tom, to see the most recent event that you did, and I was emceeing it, and I went there knowing that you guys were already good. I didn't know, I'd never seen Hayden do it, but I have seen Tom and yourself. But holy crap, you still blew my bloody mind that day, just the way that you presented those pieces, and especially with the other people in the room, you could tell they did too. Where does the confidence to stand on stage and be your soul like that come from?
I think ever since I've been little, I've wanted to be an actress, but it wasn't something that, you know, was kind of encouraged back in my day, because fair enough, my parents sort of wanted me to have security. So I used to do amateur acting at Cronulla Arts Theatre down in Sydney, where I grew up, and loved it, and definitely weighed up the idea of going into acting or teaching. But I think I overthought it probably and thought, no, primary school teacher, now that's going to be good. I'm going to have school holidays. I'll be able to be a mum. You know, I'll be able to sort of, you know, balance my lifestyle. So yeah, it's something that's definitely been inside of me. And also I used to do a Stedfords when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. Get up and so I had to learn lines off by heart, you know, Shakespeare. Okay, yeah. I remember doing Macbeth at an Stedford. So yeah, I don't know where it comes from, but it's just part of my DNA, part of who I am. Yeah.
You are damn good at it.
Thank you.
Good at it. What do you want the book to achieve? What do you want Life's a Mango to achieve? What's the mission for you in the book?
I think I say in the book, or my Andrew Biankowski, who I went over to the States to visit, who's written the foreword for the book, he recommends just one poem a day. One poem a day keeps the doctor away. So you just sort of open it randomly, you know, may I be guided by love, see where the book lands, and whatever poem you land on, well, you take that and you sort of reflect on it, and, you know, before you go out for the day.
Keep talking, don't worry about me. I'm just doing what you told me.
Also, I've got another book here. It's one of my Buddhist books, and it's 365 Days for Travellers, and I love it. So every day of the year, I open it and I see what message it's given me, and you'll never guess what it says for today.
Share.
It says, understanding life. To be a free and happy person without going against the laws of nature is just like being in a play. A good actor, though perfectly aware that it is all fake, is still able to express himself in a way that is even more realistic, more natural, and more joyful than in real life. The same goes for life. The most important thing is not to be calculative regarding what is true or false, gain or loss, fame or benefit, nobility or worthlessness, wealth or poverty. Rather, it is about how to live each day happily and discover the poetic part of life.
Wow. Doesn't surprise me at all.
Isn't that funny?
Synchronicity.
Yeah. But you know, if I hadn't got sick, I often wonder if we'd be holding that book because, you know, I was a mum, busy teacher. And as a teacher, you're always thinking about the children. We don't really give ourselves enough time to tap into that creative part of ourselves unless it's sort of to be part of a lesson at school. So because I got sick and I got the post-viral fatigue back in 2016, that was when I was just like, I totally surrendered, I think, to the now and to the situation where I just didn't have any energy. And strangely enough, that's when that poetry just sort of started to flow through me. So I think I was just giving myself permission to express, to be creative, because I don't think you can be creative unless you're really relaxed. We have to find that relaxed space, don't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So is that what the writing process was like for you? That sort of just relaxed? Did it all happen at once? Did it happen across?
Well, it was partly because I was watching YouTube videos in bed, and I was mainly focusing on Eckhart Tolle. I'd read his books. I'd read The Power of Now. At that stage, I don't think I'd read A New Earth. And he just really spoke to me in a huge way. Plus, I was also looking at stuff from His Holiness the Dalai Lama, social and emotional learning. And then I'd finish one of these amazing talks by Eckhart Tolle, and I'd think, okay, I think I can say what he has said succinctly in rhyming verse. So it was his message, and also, you know, I've been a practicing Buddhist for the last 15 years. I think all that stuff just sort of poured out of me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Did you learn much through the writing process? Like about yourself, about you know, did you find new things about yourself?
No.
No?
I think it was just all sitting there waiting to come out.
Awesome.
Well, it's been a journey because, like, you published before we met, and then we got involved in marketing, and the journey's been a long one. It's been a long one. But going through the publishing process for the second edition, how was that? What did you learn about that? What was, you know, goods, bads and uglies, Jen?
I learnt that I had a vision for my book that nobody else could share. It was completely private, but I knew the kind of book that I wanted to hold in my hand. I knew what I wanted, and sometimes it was hard for other people on the journey to see that. But I stuck by my guns, and I went for what I really, I reached for the stars, and I got what I wanted.
You did.
Through a lot of hard work, and
it was worth it.
Yeah.
Like, you look at it now, and like the mandalas at the back, how about you explain those to us?
Yeah, I've just always been attracted to those types of books where you can do that sort of mindful colouring in, and being able to transform something from just a black and white pattern on a page to something that's completely your own, something very personal. I really like that. And also, whenever I read a book, I just devour it, and I make notes, and I highlight, and I underline, you know, and take notes in the space at the side. I thought, right, so if people are going to react to my book, I want them to be able to write down maybe their poems, their thoughts, maybe they're going to draw. And so, I wanted to have a few blank pages at the end as well.
No, it's very effective. It's a gorgeous looking book, beautiful colouring, and the colours just, they all just connect very, very well. Yeah,
and I also, and I've got Jason and you, of course, to thank you for those ideas. I remember it was Jason who gave me the idea of the little mangoes there
that's
in the
nice
corner.
Touch, eh?
Yeah, that's a really nice touch. And and I was working very closely, because in my first edition I worked with a graphic designer that I found in Barcelona in Spain. I found him online, we never met one another, but he came along with me for the second edition as well. And that was really great. So so many people have contributed this, you and Jason and my other graphic designer Wally. So it's been a great team effort. But I think the best thing too about taking more time was that, I was able to get amazing endorsements, like David Mickey. He's really big in the Buddhist world, and some amazing people have endorsed the book. And I think that's the thing, when you take a bit more time to do something. I evolved with the book, and I'd have dreams at night and think, I want to do that. So taking a little bit more time, I think you get what you want, rather than if you rush it. Sometimes what we get hasn't really hasn't gone the whole process. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, absolutely.
So what's next? You know, we've got edition number 2 in our hands.
Yeah.
It's out there circulating. People are doing poems 1 a day. What's
Well, hopefully I'll get my audio book out soon, so that'll be next, I guess. And I don't know, you know when you're a kid you think, no, if I tell anybody it's not going to come true. Well, I don't know, maybe there's a bit of that, but I can definitely see some poems in there that would be really beautiful picture books.
Kids'
That'd
books.
be great, yeah. Couple in there like Lucky Duck and Your Dog.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind writing my memoirs. I don't know if I'm too young to do that, but I can imagine. I've started sort of dabbling a bit in that. But yeah, I don't know, just taking one day at a time really, and just being really grateful for now and for my health and for being here with you guys. Yeah, really being in the moment.
You're a gorgeous soul, and I've been looking forward to asking this question of you. As a creative, what would your spirit animal be?
I think a dolphin.
a dolphin? Pray tell, why a dolphin?
Well, they're friendly and they're free and they're somehow intelligent and they're social animals.
Somehow intelligent.
In fact, I think they're more intelligent than us, aren't
Yeah,
they?
I think so.
And yeah, I don't know, they just speak to me. Yeah, they speak to me. And I grew up by the ocean in, by the ocean?
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
At Cronulla in Sydney. And yeah, so I think I've always loved the water. So yeah, I think a water animal, definitely a dolphin.
Wow, love that.
Yeah. So we also have another silly question that we like to ask. Obviously, you know, the ORP team wear superhero shirts. They have superhero names.
Have you noticed?
Flash and Superman.
Who would you resonate with as a superhero?
Well, you know what? I wouldn't resonate with any superhero. I would resonate with an actress who played two roles that really, really had an impact on me when I was a little person.
That's still a superhero. Who was it?
Julie Andrews.
Oh.
Sound of Music.
And she played Sound of Music, which I think I've seen more than 20 times, and I can sing almost all the songs off by heart with her accent. And the other one was Mary Poppins. Just love the way she went in with her kindness and her little bit of magic and just made things better. And she was wise. And the same thing in Sound of Music, you know. I must have done something good. Nothing comes from nothing. Nothing ever could. So somewhere in my youth or childhood or past life, I must have done something good.
Well done.
So Julie Andrews, although she can't sing anymore, so sorry, she's my superhero. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Because she still sits there. You know, Mary Poppins is still there, and Maria, I think her name was, wasn't it, in Sound of Music? Yeah, she's still there. And the way she was so kind, and she wanted other people to be happy, and she wanted to give, and just almost, you know, kindness. Is there anything more wonderful, more beautiful in the world than wanting another human being to be happy? It just, yeah, really, really affects me, that.
We can see. Listen, one of the things that we spoke about earlier that, you know, and again, the auspiciousness of this interview is not lost on me, is you reciting poetry. And what I'd like to ask you now, and after that, you're going to have to top what you just did then, but, you know, I would like you, like I know you know a lot of these by memory, which is also another fantastic trait of the artist that you are, Jen. So how about you give us a recital?
All right. Well, how about you open page 75, just in case I disappoint you. So I think one
You'll
of
never
the
disappoint me, Jen.
one of the poems that I really resonate with, because I think it underlies the whole message of Life's a Mango, is gratefulness. Can your eyes see words? It's pretty amazing. So lucky to have eyes that we use for gazing. Do you take them for granted, or do you think, wowee, these forms all around I can actually see? Every moment in life is a chance to be grateful for your life, your senses, your friends, your plateful. When we live life like this, we start to awaken. No more will you live life as mistaken. Your life, it will change. You're more consciously here as gratitude grows for things you endear. Opportunities come and you start to feel a new generosity. You'll share your next meal. This moment now, however it looks, is a chance to be grateful. You can't find it in books. You just have a sense of wonder and awe as you leave the house and walk out the door. The birds and the trees, the sky and the cloud. Take a second to stop and say right out loud, thank you for this. I'm connected to all. So grateful for now. I do not need more. And if life may hand you a lemon, well, you just make lemonade and you'll be in heaven. Take time to stop. Be aware of this moment. A gift you've been given. It's not your opponent. As water comes out from the tap in the kitchen, the light switch goes on or you start the ignition. Say thank you for this. Don't take it for granted. Just celebrate now a gift you've been handed. When reaching for bread, some jam or some honey, give thanks for those beings. It's not all about money. So many beings have worked hard for you. So next time you eat, think as you chew, how grateful I am for the kindness of others. They gave up their lives, my sisters and brothers.
Awesome.
What do you say? At the end of the day, for those that need and want to get a copy of Life's a Mango and get that insight into this amazing woman's heart and soul, that is the link at the bottom of the screen. Go and check that out. Check out her social medias. Go to Audible because when this interview has been screened, where you're watching it right now, the audiobook actually is available. And I also like the fact of sharing this connection with others. So share it with other people too.
Yeah, and I'd just like to say thank you so much to you
You're
for
welcome.
believing in me and for Jason as well, and for getting this second edition out there and getting it out to more people so more people can really benefit from the message. And it is available as an ebook as well, thanks to you. I think you organised that, didn't you, on Amazon? And of course, I imagine I'll be putting this interview on my website, which is jencompton.com. And Facebook and Instagram at Life's a Mango. So thank you, ORP, and thanks to all the team. You're the wind beneath my wings.
That's really true, actually. You know, no, just kidding. Thank you so much, Jen, and thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time on the Creative Corner.